AI alone will not save your business. All right, I'm super pumped about this episode. Let me ask you a question. Do you think AI is going to take your job? I think it definitely will, to be honest with you, unless you become some kind of an AI implementer over and beyond the responses within a given role or what your talents are. One of the things that we did here at Bottleneck is that we held a meeting and asked each one of our team members if they knew what polymorphic agentic AI was. I heard it on another podcast and I thought it was really interesting. So I went down a rabbit trail. Well, no one raised their hand. No one had heard of it. And in less than a week, every team member found a way to embrace their own poly agent to support their role, and it made each of them more valuable. Exactly the opposite of what most people are thinking. And I'm really excited to talk about AI and what it's going to be doing in the future, and all these roles that are supposedly going to be replaced, and you're going to be out of business, and basically everybody's going to be sitting at home while AI runs the world. I'm excited to share with one of those poly agents that were created was Jeff, our producer, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about what he did as he wraps up today's episode. But before we get there, let's go ahead and open the desk. All right, welcome back to the Delegation Desk Show. I'm wearing my cattleman's cut or shaped cowboy hat today. It always puts me in I don't know, feel like I'm in a different place and a different time, and it makes me happy. So I hope you like the hat. If you don't, well, suck it up, partner. Welcome back to the Delegation Desk Show. This is the show for founders who are hearing about AI everywhere and wondering what it really means for their business. Because right now there's a lot of noise, new tools, new promises, new headlines, and a lot of pressure to keep up. I'm Jaime Jay, CEO and founder of Bottleneck Distant Assistance and creator of the Delegation Intelligence category. And today we are talking about AI, artificial intelligence, not the hype, not the fear, not the shortcuts, the reality. Because AI is not going away. It's not a trend. It's not a phase. It's a permanent shift in how work gets done. And let me just say one thing. I think this is probably, and I talked to a good friend of mine, Christopher Lockhead. I think he really nailed it, because he said he thinks AI is the biggest thing since the wheel, right? And I tend to agree, because that is the direction of our future. It's all technology based, and AI is not going anywhere. It's a permanent shift in how work gets done. But here's the part most founders are missing. AI does not replace leadership. It doesn't create accountability. It doesn't build reliable operations. People do that. And the businesses that win in this new era will not be the ones with the most tools. They'll be the ones with the strongest systems. You heard me talk about this in the previous episode. If you didn't, go back and watch episode 8, because that's what we talked about. So, understanding the beginning of this AI episode, let's see what's landed on the desk. Yet another founder said something that made me think a little bit. He said, we just implemented AI across the company. And I asked him a simple question: who owns the process? Crickets. Because the tools were there, but the structure was not. And this is what I'm seeing across industries right now. Companies are moving fast, adopting AI, using buzzwords to get themselves through conversations, making them feel maybe more intelligent, and other people going, ooh, what are they talking about? Automating tasks, installing software, but nobody's clearly responsible for managing the work. Nobody is documenting the process. Nobody's verifying the results. And the founder is the one still stepping in to fix the problems, not because technology failed, but because the system was never built. AI without ownership creates confusion. AI without structure creates risk. AI without accountability creates way more work. And that's why this conversation matters, because the future does not belong to companies that simply use AI. It belongs to companies that lead AI. And that is exactly why our Canada on the Desk segment is designed to show you real people, real operators, real professionals who know how to use AI responsibly and effectively inside of a structured system. So as we move forward into this segment, ask yourself, who is leading AI inside of my business? Let us take a look at today's candidate on the desk. All right, today's candidate is a prior authorization specialist and healthcare support professional. And this role becomes one of the most important support systems inside any healthcare operation, because in healthcare, delays do not just affect schedules, they affect patients. This candidate has experience in prior authorization and utilization review, insurance verification and benefits coordination, patient eligibility and coverage validation, clinical documentation review, and ICD and CPT coding knowledge. The tools in their arsenal include Athena, Google Space, Microsoft Office, Zoom, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and various clinical documentation and authorization systems. But here's what stood out with Hazel, in my opinion. Hazel understands the healthcare support is not just administrative work, it's coordination under pressure, because every authorization delayed can affect treatment timelines. Every missing document can slow down patient care, and every inaccurate verification can create frustration for both providers and patients. And what makes this candidate valuable is her ability to stay accurate, organized, and professional in a fast-paced healthcare environment. Hazel understands how to communicate clearly with insurance providers, how to manage documentation carefully, and how to maintain efficiency while handling sensitive patient-related processes. That level of consistency matters, because strong healthcare support does not just improve operations, it creates smoother experiences for patients, providers, and healthcare systems alike. And in healthcare, clarity and accuracy can make all the difference. And before we move this file to the completed stack, I want to talk about they have to understand, because all these EHR, electronic health records, CRMs, for those of you not in the healthcare industry, any kind of a software solution you'll start looking at has all these AI features, and that's what they're selling. You know, it's got AI that automatically does this and this and this. But I can guarantee you, if you have an EHR or if you have a CRM, many thousands of other people probably use that same EHR system or that same CRM system, but they'll use it differently. And if you don't have somebody that understands not only the features there, but understands it from an AI point of view, you're going to miss out on so much opportunity, because you can't always rely on the shiny objects and the fancy little discombobulator, whatever things, right? You've got to always have someone there at the helm who understands the fundamental foundation of why that software is there. And they need to build it out in such a way that it really works for you. And that takes time, it takes power. And even though agentic is autonomous in nature, it still needs a highly tech-enabled human being to lead the charge. So now that I've said that, let us move that file to the completed stack and check out the delegation download. And this brings us to the delegation download segment. I love this, because this is where the rubber hits the road, the meat and potatoes of the episode actually happen, because AI is changing how work gets done. It's completely different, but it's not changing the fundamentals of delegation. Delegation becomes easier when processes become repeatable. Repeatable processes make automation possible, and automation makes teams faster. But speed is not the goal. Reliability is the goal. And here's the progression. First, define the process. Then assign ownership. Then document the steps. Then apply the technology. That order matters. I'll say it again. Here's the progression. First, define the process. Second, assign ownership. Third, document the steps. Fourth, apply the technology. That's the order. Because technology amplifies whatever system already exists. If the system is strong, AI makes it stronger. If the system is weak, AI makes the problem happen faster. If the system is weak, AI makes the problems happen faster. And that's why the smartest companies are not asking, what can AI do? They're asking, how should AI support our process? That shift changes everything. And what you might find, though, is you have a certain process with AI may change up that process, but you have to have a starting point. You have to have that process in place before you really can take into consideration what AI can do for you in a positive note. That shift changes everything. And that leads us directly into the bigger picture. So let's step into the category corner. Here's what I know. I know delegation intelligence does not compete with AI. Delegation intelligence leads AI. Let that sink in for a second. Because tools don't run businesses. Systems do. I can't say it enough. I keep repeating this, and hopefully this sinks in. Systems require leadership. And here's the model. Delegation intelligence trains the system trains the team, and the team directs the technology. You've heard me say that before, but it's worth repeating. This is how modern organizations scale, not by replacing people, by empowering people. Our dedicated distant assistants are not traditional assistants. They are highly tech-enabled operators. They learn your workflows. They document your processes. They manage your communications, and they leverage AI to improve performance every single day. That is radical differentiation, not cheap labor, not task completion, operational leadership. And this is what makes delegation department different from hiring help. And that is why companies that embrace this model grow faster with less stress. I really hope this hits home for you. Whether it's agentic or not, you need human, a highly tech-enabled human, to lead the charge on that. And by the way, you will be surprised at all the ideas you get once you unleash your dedicated distant assistants, your human beings, to do some research, get out there and find what's going to support your current and existing process. So with that in mind, let's now take a look at what's coming across the desk. All right. In sticking with the theme of everything artificial intelligence, next week we're going to be talking about AI overwhelm, because right now, a lot of founders feel like they're drowning in tools. I know I do from time to time. I get a little bit too excited on the next new deal, and I have to control myself, right? But I do know that we have a good, solid system in place. So we get excited by new platforms and new automations and new dashboards and new promises that this is the end all be all. And every one of them claims to save times. I tell you, when marketers get a hold of something, everything else goes to shit, it seems like. But instead, many businesses feel scattered more than ever. More notifications, more decisions, more moving parts. Let me ask you this. How many pieces of software that you've purchased in your life that you still have access to are you actively using? This is what happens when technology grows faster than structure. So next week, we're going to talk about how to simplify the chaos and how to decide which tools matter, how to assign ownership, and how to build a system that makes technology work for you instead of against you. Because the goal is not more tools. The goal is more clarity. And before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final thought. So let's go ahead and clear the desk. AI is here to stay. That's not the question anymore. The real question is, who's leading it? Because technology does not replace leadership. Technology amplifies leadership. If your systems are clear, AI will make your business faster, period. If your systems are unclear, AI will make your problems louder, period. You do not need more tools. You need more structure. You do not need more automation. You need more ownership. And you don't need to replace people. You need highly capable people who know how to leverage technology. That's exactly what delegation intelligence is designed to do. That's why I created that category. Build a system, train the team, then apply the technology. We built a free assessment called the Delegation IQ Blueprint. It shows you where work is breaking down. It identifies your bottlenecks, and it shows you where AI can support your operations. It shows you what structure would make your business more reliable. Did we use AI in this tool? Absolutely. But it has to do that it came in after we built the system. So it fits in perfectly with our system, and it actually enhanced our system. So you'll find the link below. And if this episode helped, please subscribe. If you're ready to build a smarter, more scalable operation, take the assessment. And remember this: clear the chaos, build the department. Now I'm going to hand it over to our producer, Jeff. He's going to go ahead and bring us home again for this episode. But I'll see you next week. Same desk, same time.
Hi there again, and thank you so much for staying until this part of the episode wherein I always share what I learned. So, you know what's interesting? At the beginning of this episode, Jamie mentioned about all of our team members who didn't agree that we know what polymorphic agentic AI was. I even reacted with, I'm getting scared of terms in our meeting because the terms are getting deeper and deeper, and slowly I learn more about it. And at first, I'm puzzled. I don't know everything. And here's what I did: I searched that in all AI platforms, may it be ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or all AIs out there. I asked what polymorphic agentic AI is. And what I did on my free time is, aside from that research, I asked it what it can do for me and if it can build a system for me, helping me with my tasks. So I created what I call the social media manager control center, wherein it has all the departments there, like our bottleneck main pages or main channels in social media. We also have the recruitment channels. We also added there a messaging response. All I have to do is put the comments or the messages that people are sending to our pages so that I can answer it accurately. And of course, I'm still the captain of it. I still edit that to make sure that these contents or these generated messaging by AI is still accurate. So, as I always say, AI is like a powerful pirate crew helping us to hunt for treasure, which are our goals, our targets for companies. So with this crew, this AI crew, it will help us find treasure faster and smarter. But no matter how skilled the crew is or that AI is, the captain still holds the wheel, reads the storm, and decides the destination. AI can help row the ship, but it should never command the captain or control the voyage. AI didn't replace the work, it helped me do the work better, because at that one place, my control center is just my place where I need to put these ideas or this captions, contents that I'm creating in one place rather than shifting different AI tools, right? So that's, I think, is the smart way that I did it. It's still improving day by day. I improve the process in that AI, and hopefully in the future, it can help your assistant if you may be looking for a social media manager, and Bottleneck will be helping our assistant to learn more about that AI and how to utilize this. So again, I wanted to ask you, where has AI genuinely helped your business so far? And where do you still feel like technology is creating more noise than clarity? So drop your thoughts in the comments. We love to read that to make sure that we can have more episodes. If you have suggestions, comments, or any anything that you wanted to hear from our next episodes, put it in the comments so that we can create an episode especially for your comments. And if you're not following us yet, make sure that you are, because we are updating every time in our pages to make sure that all of our episodes, all of our content will be helpful for every founder that will be reading our posts. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. So don't ever forget that notification bell so you can stay updated on our next episode. So wherever you spend time online, will be there too. And if you want to build systems where AI actually supports your team instead of overwhelming it, head over to bottleneck.online/let's dash talk, or click the link in the description. Everything is in there, to our social media pages, to Delegation IQ Blueprint, and of course, booking our consultation through our website, through our link at Let's Dash Talk. So we'd love to help you build more smart delegation department around the right structure. All right. So I got excited about this because I've learned a lot when Jamie mentioned that polymorphic agentic AI. So I really got excited, got into it. It became my free time hobby. So you might think as well on how to do polymorphic agentic AI yourself. So we appreciate you being here until this part of the episodes. And again, see you on our next episode. Thank you so much and have a great day.